Hello everybody, my name is Michellina Chan and I'm a classical saxophonist. Today we'll be reacting to some saxophone scenes from movies and TV shows. Let's go! I know this one. Love the way he's dancing. And I'm not sure if he painted his hair pink because of for this performance. What you just watched was a performance by Leo P at the BBC Proms. And at the BBC Proms, it is a concert series that reaches the masses. And I think what he did with the energy and how captivative it was really, really perfect. And I wonder if Leo P purposely matched his hair to the suit he was wearing. I think to play the baritone saxophone and to be dancing like that is really a huge feat. And I have not yet seen anyone who plays the baritone as well as he does while dancing. I think he goes to the gym quite regularly to be able to pull off such a performance. Really, really a huge feat in itself. 10 out of 10, he is faking it. You see his fingers go in the same pattern and the notes are not in the same pattern at all. I have actually done this in a recording once where, you know, the fingers are not so important, but in this case, yeah, you really see like what he's doing there and like, cannot lah. Definitely he's improvising. So, you know, the notes are probably already, the fingers are already in the technique. So I don't think it would be that difficult, but if it's an actor trying to play the part, definitely, you know, he's not going to have the finger technique to play this passage of music. I'm not sure it's because of the saxophone's curves that, you know, make it a really sexy instrument. It's just people over-sexualize the saxophone, or maybe because, you know, saxophone sex, and I think the saxophone has a very unique, warm sound that actually is an instrument that is pretty close to the voice. Singing music, a lot of lyrical, beautiful lines, you know, not just the sexy music, thank you. Fun fact, I was actually in the audience when Sugawa played this piece. I guess the similarities is that it's really very show-off kind of music. The saxophone is playing a solo piece in both situations. Very different styles of music for sure. One is smooth jazz and the other is very classical, and in fact a transcription of a violin piece. I think the difficulty in switching between the styles is finding the correct sound for each of the genres of saxophone playing. So to find a classical sound, of course the setup is very different as well compared to a jazz sound. So you need to have that in mind as well. And of course, you know, having a different tonal concept is something that, you know, jazz musicians find very, very important to them, to have their own sound. I think it's pretty accurate. Yeah, you can see where the fingers move and the pitch is changing, and it's quite an accurate representation. I'm sure they had a saxophonist come in to get the little clips done. So thank you, Pixar, for doing the right thing. I guess different kind of people have different movements when they play the saxophone. There are people who stay quite still, but they draw the audience into them. And you know, some people are more extroverted kind of performers where they move and they show certain gestures perhaps. And I think in this case, she was playing alone and there wasn't even an audience. So it was very much an introverted or introspective kind of playing where she was just playing for herself and enjoying the music. At the very first Singapore Saxophone Symposium, I think this is 12 or 13 years ago, I had the privilege of watching performers, saxophonists come into Singapore and, you know, showcasing the best works of saxophone. And this is where I first fell in love with contemporary saxophone music. And you know, contemporary saxophone music is a lot of gestures. and you see the movements very, very much influenced by the music, and very opposite to what the clip that we just watched, but I find that really, really captivating and really beautiful. Well, I hope you learned a thing or two about saxophone. I'm glad to see though that the saxophone is portrayed in all these different TV shows and movies and getting so much airtime. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you again in the next clip. See you!